Hi everyone, Annie Chin Taylor here with tips, tools, and techniques to help you create the life you'd like to have. So, maybe one of the things that you'd like to have in your life is to be able to get rid of pain when you feel it in your body. Well, so I want to share with you how just yesterday I was in my courtyard here. I don't know if you could see it very well, um, but down here on the ground a bunch of flowers from this mimosa tree that's way up behind me there had fallen because of this really windy day that we had a couple days ago. So I was out here picking up a lot of the mimosa flowers that were covering the bark that's here on the ground. And I was kind of in let's get this done mode because I had some other things that I needed to get done during the day. I had different appointments and so forth. So I'm out here and throwing mimosa flowers into a bucket. And right when I throw the last flower into the bucket, I go to stand up and I feel this pain shoot through my back. I'm like, oh man. And I like my hands go to my knees because I can't stand all the way up. And I take a deep breath and then I ask a question. So, most people, and I still do this too, when they feel pain, they automatically go into conclusion that they did something that caused it. So, the first thing that I did was I asked a question though, because I know that asking a question can create awareness. So, the first question that I've actually trained myself to ask, which I don't always do, but I'm training myself to ask it, is who does this pain belong to? And I got the awareness that it belonged to one of the men or some of the men that were on my neighbor's roof who are re-roofing their house. And so the you might already know this tool if you know the access consciousness tools is I then said, okay, return this energy, this intense energy to the source, to its sender with consciousness attached. And it lightened up some. I'm like, okay, cool. Who else does this belong to? And I got the awareness that it belonged to my husband, who um, kind of hurt his back, not real bad, a few days ago. So I returned that with lots of consciousness attached. And it was better, but it was still there. So then, because it wasn't all gone, I started going into thinking, okay, what can I do to have this pain leave? Because, like a lot of people, I don't like feeling pain either. So I then started thinking, oh, I'll do some yoga, I'll do some stretches. And I've had this happen before, right? I mean, how many times do we have repeat pains? So I thought, okay, how did I get rid of this this pain in my tailbone sacrum area before? So I started like reflecting back on the past. So over the day, I would do certain things and it would feel a little bit better, but there was always this little twinge, right? And so what was really kind of cool was later in the evening, I asked the question again, who does this pain belong to? And I got the awareness again that it belonged to somebody else. So I returned it to center with consciousness attached. And then I remembered this other question. When you ask who does this belong to, a lot of times it's the who part is either you or somebody else. But I remembered the access consciousness tool to also ask, is it does it belong to something else versus someone else? And I got this huge lightness, this huge yes, this huge awareness that it did belong to something else. So usually, when you ask the question, does it belong to something else? It belongs to the earth, in that it's not necessarily pain that the earth um, is feeling, but it's Earth's way of asking you, getting your attention, um, to ask you for a contribution of energy because maybe the Earth is in pain or the Earth just requires some energy. And so this last April, I was taking the Access Consciousness Foundation class, and Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness, reminded the class participants that when you're feeling, if you have a connection with the earth, then the earth will communicate with you through your body. And how do you know if you have a connection with the earth? Well, real simply, if you're really drawn to flowers or plants, love being in nature, um, care about nature, light up when you're in nature or receive flowers or whatnot, like that, then you have a connection with the earth. And so last night, after most of the day, decreasing the pain but still having that little twinge, I realized, oh yeah, I was outside picking up flowers um, when I felt this pain. And so I asked, does this pain belong to the earth? Earth, are you requiring a contribution? And it felt so light. Out of all of the questions or tools that I used during the day, that one just exploded with lightness. And so, what do? How do you contribute energy to the earth? Well, how they do it in Access Consciousness is you actually gather up the energy. So you just kind of bring your arms up and you ask for the energy that you'd like to gift to the earth to gather, and then you kind of fling it towards the earth on a count of three. On the count of three. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and you throw it down to the earth. Sounds silly and very unusual, but it worked. And so I was actually sitting down when I did this contribution to the earth, and when I stood up, oh my God, I just stood up with total ease. You know how when you have like a pinch in your sacrum, you kind of get up very slowly because it hurts? Well, I just stood up and it was all gone. So I share this because if you do have a connection with the earth and a pain does come on, whether you're outside or not, ask. First, I ask, who does this belong to? Myself or somebody else? And if you happen to be aware that you have a connection with the earth, remember to ask, does this belong to something else? Is it the earth asking for a contribution? And it can go away within seconds. Okay, have a great day. I hope that helps.